If you take the program seriously, there's no reason why you can't come home with $50,000 a year. And the paycheck is definitely nice. That's definitely nice because it allows me to take care of my family in ways I wouldn't be able to normally, and also take care of myself medically. You know, in my off season, I like to go in and get my checkups because, let's face it, at the end of the day, if I can't go to work, I can't feed my family.
For a 26-year-old, I'm doing very well. You know, I made more in my pension, I think, than a lot of people made all year. It's very pleasing to know that I'm building something for my retirement.
Being 20 years old and making what I make, it's an awesome thing. I made almost $50,000. My first year, you know, just coming into the industry, I made that much money. It's very, very nice to be able to say that I'm 20, I have my own place, I can take care of myself, and I love what I do, let alone just the money. It's not even work to me.
I have a friend that went to business school and he's up in the cities working. He's got 5 years of schooling and $40,000 or $50,000 in debt. And the past 2 years I've been making right around $70,000, $75,000 a year, and I'm just an apprentice. I got my own house and I feel I'm further along in life already, and I don't have any of that student debt. It's kind of nice as perspective that way.
One of the major reasons I came from non-union to go to union is for the insurance. Is huge, you know, and my wife has insurance, but it's expensive, you know, and it's not that good of insurance, where the insurance that you have here, the benefits, the pension, you know, it sets you up for later on in life.
I was working twice as hard and making half as much before I got on the 139, and now that I see these bigger checks come in, it's gratifying. Because you work just as hard and you're actually getting paid what you deserve. You got the insurance and you got the pension, and you can actually relax. You know, you don't have to work till you die.
Hands down, the money is great. It's above and beyond what most people are making. And for me personally, I'd love to say it's not about the money, but I've got 2 children, I've got a wife, and I've got commitments. I walked away from a 6-figure job to start as an operator, and I'm content. I'm not making 6 figures yet, but I know that I can. I know that I will be, and I know with everything I put into it, and I keep pushing and keep charging forward, I'll get there.
The school is always adding classes, looking for what industry demands are. Last winter I took an air conditioning class for my certification. You know, there's not much equipment out there that's not air conditioned anymore, so I mean, it's something I gotta have on my mechanical side. If I go to grading, there's classes for it. If I need a class, I took a CDL class here because I needed it for my service truck. My mechanical side of it is very advanced. We're going into Tier 4 final engines, regeneration, urea injection for after treatment. I mean, every day, every year comes out with new challenges, new technologies, and we're always learning the next advancement that the industry puts out to us. They're willing to provide and go the extra mile to make sure we're trained.
Honestly, it's insane to say that I get to come to places like this and I get to work here and do this as my school, you know? It's not out of textbooks. I get to do what I love in my career at school. And I've never been more proud of anything.
This facility is amazing, because if this place wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to just get on a piece of equipment and be expected to run it on the job site. I mean, your instructors are very knowledgeable, and so they teach you each piece of equipment thoroughly, and the more classes you take, the better off you'll be.
This training campus has been a very big blessing, I would say. Years in the past, we would go outside and we'd train in sub-zero temperatures and slightly above sub-zero temperatures so we don't damage the equipment from our other contractors. And having this arena especially is a great way that when the temperatures outside don't enable us to go outside, we can sit inside and still learn our inner aspects and operate equipment inside the arena safely.
I've got other training with the military as an operator, but everything that you learn here, the opportunities you get to run all the different equipment, gives a huge advantage over working for someone that you don't get the training. The training here is just awesome.
This place has been phenomenal. I've gotten in equipment I didn't think I'd ever get in. For instance, I'm in the motor grader, and I've been in it at work, but now I've got more seat time, and when I go back to work, I'll feel like I have a better grip on what I'm supposed to be doing. So to come to the school when you're in the off season, it really helps to have some place that's affordable.
All the instructors, you know, they come from the business. You know, they've been there, they've done it.
The instructors here are a very big and essential part of this union. We're basically leaders in our own field, asked to come here and basically teach people who are also going to work in our field our skills and our tricks of the trade. And also from a learning point of view, I'm learning their tricks of the trade. So there's no favoritism, but to have that much knowledge at your fingertips and be able to answer any question that I have relating to dozer operation, excavator, grader, scraper, you name it, you know, directional drill, that's big to have that there at your disposal.
They did their thing and now they want to give back, and that's what's really nice about the instructors. And they take the time to actually sit down with you and make sure that you understand it before they move on.
The instructors bring a lot of experience. I've learned a lot from them. I do understand seat time is important, but the basics you learn from your instructors, you learn from your coworkers that are journeymen already, but the instructors here have all been phenomenal.
They are wonderful people, men, women, training us. They get to know you on a first name basis. I mean, there's probably half a dozen instructors that I see throughout the union meetings. They're an excellent resource for us. I mean, they have a wealth of knowledge. Each one has a career full of experience that they're willing to share with us.
In my opinion, they are special. It's a very common standard across the board of something that I've heard them say. I started as an apprentice, I became a journeyman. 139 gave me everything that I am up until this point, and this is my way of giving back. So what that transpires to for me as a student sitting here looking at these instructors that are in front of me, it's like they're handing me the sword, the guidon. They're handing it off to me, and now it's my turn, and now it's their turn to give me their knowledge so that I can one day maybe be up in front of a class handing off that same guidon they gave to me. I've gone to college too, and it's not like that environment where you feel like that teacher's up there just because they've got that curriculum that they need to do. Here, they're teaching you how to live, and they're going to teach you the right way to do it, and they're teaching you a professional skill that you're going to be able to use hands down for the rest of your life. I am definitively happy with my decision of becoming an operator of the 139 in Wisconsin. Is it easy? Absolutely not. I would never tell anybody that this is easy. But what is life if you're not going to live it? I'm living it through the 139, and I'm happy.
If you're a high school kid and you're looking to get into this, take your classes seriously. I always said, when am I ever going to use my math? When am I ever going to use it? And then I got here and I said, that's where I'm going to use it.
I would definitely recommend a young woman to become a Wisconsin operating engineer. I like being a female in the male industry just to say that I can do anything that they can do. It's a great feeling. If you are ready and willing to work the hours that it is, I wouldn't second guess it at all. It can be a lot at once, especially just coming out of high school, being younger, you know, wanting to go and do things like that. But if you think that you can handle how many hours you work, and if you get like me, it's not even a job to you. You go to work and you laugh every day, you get along, your friends are at work. And I am more happy with the people that I have in my life now than I did before I got here. So it's not work.
It's a rewarding job. It really is. And if you're thinking about becoming an engineer, I would definitely give it a shot to go look at it and see what it entails, because just seeing those guys out on the highway, there's way more to it than that.
I would do what your heart tells you to do. Every job is different, every day is different, even if you're on the same project for more than a week. I'm usually on different job sites daily. I get to see different people every single day. I love what I do, but don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You won't regret it.
I'm 24 years old. If you want to be an operating engineer, it's a great career path, great money, great benefits, great future. You get to work and do what you love if you love operating or working with your hands and being outside. It's a very close-knit group. You go everywhere, you meet a lot of new people, you know a lot of people. The camaraderie's there and you're always working together and you have a good time after work. It's like a family.
When I was making that transition from the prior employment that I was doing to come here, I knew that I would be able to use my post 9/11 GI Bill. I could have used my regular GI Bill, but I elected to use my post 9/11 GI Bill because one of the parts of that is while you're attending a trade school, you can draw BAH, Basic Allowance for Housing, for veterans. Essentially, it's funds that have been set aside out of the post 9/11 GI Bill to help cover that cost of living gap when you're not working because you're going to school. That is an amazing part of the post 9/11 GI Bill. However, if you go to a school like that, where you're going to be using your GI Bill, the only thing I would ask other veterans to do is something that I didn't do that I should have. Don't just look at it as free money that's going to pay for some training. Research the school that you're going to go to. If you don't think you're going to excel in the operators, that's fine. You don't have to do this. But if you're going to use your GI Bill, either post or Chapter 30 or 31, if you're going to use those funds, just understand that that money was put there by two ways. You agreed to it and by blood of other soldiers. So if you're going to spend it and you're going to spend it at a school that's going to take that money from you, make sure that school is going to actually provide something in return so the soldiers that put their life on the line for that money isn't for nothing. The post 9/11 GI Bill is something you've earned. So when you use it at a school or a tech or a trade, you should earn something in return from them by them getting that money from you. So if you're going to use the school and you're going to do some type of training, make sure you spend 5-10 minutes. You spent hours or even months and years overseas to earn that GI Bill. Spend some extra time to make sure that school that you want to go to is creditable. You could spend 5-10 minutes online and it's going to tell you either good or bad reviews. And if anything, I'm sure there's a representative at the VA that would be willing to discuss any option for any veteran coming out.
See, I was fortunate enough to have a little bit of experience before I went to that other school, and the school really didn't do much for me. They didn't give you the seat time. All they do is teach just the tests that just pass to get your certification, but they don't really take the time to actually teach you. And it took a lot of funds out of my vocational rehab program, the Chapter 31. And I still have funds, but I pretty much wasted it. After I went through that school, it was actually kind of difficult to find a job. I mean, I found jobs, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. They have like maybe 2 acres to train on. This place has 400 acres. That's a big difference. So they don't even have enough room for you to actually do anything big enough. And they teach the test. That's all they teach. They don't really train you. They just go through the motions. They just push you through it. This place actually gives you a lot more training.
The best part of being an operating engineer is building something new and the people you meet and the places you see. I've been in the state my whole life, and there's places I've visited that I never would have visited before without being an operating engineer. And when you drive through them, after they're complete, you can see what you participated in.
Definitely, there's a lot of pride with completing a job or working on a project, and you go for a drive, you're going someplace and you go past one of the old project sites and, you know, I worked on that road or I helped build that, and there's a lot of pride in it.
It makes me feel good. I always talk about it when I'm driving the car. If someone's with me I paved this road or I did this there. My husband's always very proud of me too. My wife is an operator, it's kind of neat.
It's tremendous. I work predominantly in the frac sand industry, and every time you see a locomotive with 100 cars of sand going, you know that your name's on a lot of them. You enabled that, keeping people employed out west here in Wisconsin. When you go out on an interstate job, you can see a finished product. We're driving on it every day. We are the reason we got the roads we do.
My dad gets a phone call every day. Dad, I did this. Dad, I did that. My friends, if they come down and visit me, we have to drive through the job site. I built that. I helped with that wall. You know, I put the dirt underneath this road, you know, anything like that. My friends are just, okay, I heard this story 3 times already. Like, but when you do something they actually do take a lot of pride in, it's kind of hard not to, you know. It's just, that feeling it's a nice thing.
I couldn't be happier. I've done a lot of different things in my life, and I still do today. I'm a volunteer fireman. I am a nationally registered EMT. And there's one thing I've learned over the years doing a lot of different careers, and that's being here as an operating engineer was probably the best decision that I've ever made. It's not just about coming to class. At the end of the day, I not only get guided as an apprentice, but I get guided as a human being, you know, a way to be civil amongst others.